Justine Batman, friend of the show. She does the Credo 23 Film Fest. Look up Credo 23 Film Fest. It's back in 2026. I was talking to her by email. Film Threat is back as a sponsor. We'll have Justine on the show in a future episode. We'll let you know about that. And we'll be reviewing movies. And we did review a lot of movies from the festival. We'll do that again next year in March of 2026. She's been so outspoken on so many issues. And here she is. It's an Instagram, so I have to refresh the page because you can't pause an Instagram video. It's 2 minutes of her talking about streaming. Let me line this up. I will refresh and we will watch the entire clip. I don't like clips on Instagram because you can't pause them. On X, you can pause them. On YouTube, you can pause them. So for future note, but what she has to say is from a podcast. I want you to hear it and then we'll discuss it on the back end here. So let me do this here. I'll get the audio. I'll refresh and we'll do.
We got to refresh, then do the audio real fast.
69.
These three companies now pretty much financially control Apple, Netflix.
Okay.
These three companies now pretty much financially control the business. They are the ones putting the most, well, I can't say the most, but a tremendous amount of money into production. But when you're looking at corporate health, right, you're looking at a business and you have a castle, which is your core business, and you've got the moat around it, and that moat protects it. The castle for Amazon is having this website that sells goods to people. And part of the moat is making some of these films and series that they call content. It's just stuff to put in the moat to keep people coming back to that site to make stuff.
Everything's a marketing ploy with these big companies.
Right. But they could tomorrow just go, this has been fun, but it's not really working for us anymore. We're not going to make any more shows. Boom. That could be totally cut off. Apple, same thing. They make devices. It's a hardware company. This is part of their moat to just keep people on the devices, but it's they have no dog in the hunt. They don't depend on it, right? It's a loss leader probably.
Right.
And then Netflix is a little bit different, but they have a website and they depend on having subscriptions. If they give this illusion of, new material all the time, then they'll keep people on there. So there's not as much concern with what's in the material inside this project, just that it gives the illusion that you have something new and possibly valuable. And it doesn't matter if it is actually valuable when you open it, so long as it's keeping the subscribers. In other words, the audience that we used to have for 100 years was people who were buying tickets in the theater and were turning on a television show, and the ratings then caused the advertisers to pay more money. Your audience are these people that are either paying tickets or watching your show. Are they going to come pay and see this film? You try to keep them,
right.
You want to appeal to them or actually give society what you think it's missing, so they come and get it by watching your film. The audience now is not the people watching the film. The audience now are the executives at Apple, Amazon, Netflix. Even if you're like Sony, you don't have an online play or whatever, you're making it for the theaters. That's still where you're going to end up. And so you have to make films and series that appeal to that audience of these executives. And these executives are looking to enforce the moat around their castle, and their castle
to support their bigger business.
Nothing to do with the film business.
Right.
So basically what she's saying is it's not their core business.
Yep.
Right? Apple's core business is they sell phones and cloud
Computer.
storage, apparently, and apps
and computers.
And it's like, we're just doing this thing. Apple TV Plus could go away.
Mm-hmm.
They've made some very good shows, but has it made money? Has it been profitable? What do you think?
Yeah. What stood out to me was this idea that Apple, Amazon, they've created this ecosystem. They built a film industry from within their company, and if it doesn't work out, they could just shut it off right away. And that's hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs lost, just in a snap of a finger. And I think the issue to me is these companies. Sure, they put out good stuff, but it's like firing 100 arrows at a target. 3 will hit it. That's kind of the way Apple and Amazon is working, is they just keep producing stuff, seeing what sticks, what hits the target, and then the rest goes by the wayside. And that's what ruined Hollywood already, because there was that content glut. That all these companies were just making more and more content, and just realized that it doesn't make financial sense in common sense, financial sense, economic sense. Going this model where you just produce a whole bunch of shows and get one or two that work is not the way you make money. And soon these companies will figure that out, and they'll shut off their entertainment arms.
Yeah, again, for those like Netflix is sort of out of this because their core business is the streaming, right?
Right.
And the shows, and they're doing very well.
Yeah. I mean, Netflix is two businesses. It's the streaming technology and it's the content.
Right.
Go ahead.
But for Apple and Amazon that are big players in the game, it's not their core business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so many people don't even know they have Amazon, right? They've got Amazon Prime. They don't know. It's like, I pay that fee once a year to get free shipping on crap that I buy off Amazon. Right?
Yeah.
That's why I pay it. If Amazon Prime was a standalone thing I had to pay for, I wouldn't pay for it. I don't watch enough on it to care.
Yeah.
It's vanity.
Yeah, I mean, think about the great stuff that has come from those streamers. I mean, Apple, okay, Ted Lasso. That's the thing I can think of. Amazon, Rings of Power. Good job, guys. I mean, the thing about Amazon is at least they own MGM now. But again, it goes back to Justine's point, or at least that guy who brought it up. That's not their core business. They don't know how to make movies. They don't know how to produce a quality entertainment, and it doesn't feel like they hire the right people either. It's usually someone brings up the Grand Tour. Yeah, I mean that was famous on its own, and I think they caught some lightning there. But at the same time, there's still 80% of the other stuff that's just crap.
I just feel like when you do something that's outside your core business, what do we cover here, Alan? We cover movies and TV. We do movie, TV commentary. We've movie and TV, mostly movies, mostly indie movies, but mainstream movies too. We cover some TV. On occasion, I make a documentary or a film. We sell T-shirts that have little movie-related things. This is you probably know the reference here. Like, it all relates to movies. Let's say if we started doing coffee, I don't know. Like, I love coffee, but coffee's not my core business.
Yeah.
That's why, like, if we did, I don't think I should do a Film Threat coffee. Okay. Cause coffee's not, I would go to a coffee company and that does coffee, and I would get their coffee. To be fair, I go to TJ Maxx and buy cheap K-cups, the ones that are discounted. Yeah. That's where I get my coffee.
I mean, we talked about this.
What I'm saying is stick to your core thing that you do. When you go outside the core, it's your understanding of that business is not gonna. That's why I'm not selling coffee or some other thing that's not in the realm of. If it's movie related, great. We'll probably at some point do a Film Threat popcorn bucket. It's in the realm of what we do. But I don't see us ever doing coffee or other things, that whatever. Maybe I would do a pomade for my hair.
Yeah. I mean, we've had.
I know hair.
I know, but you also it has to fit our audience too, and I would say 2% of our audience has your amazing hair.
Only 2%.
Only 2%. The other thing is we talked about it. There's a reason why we don't do press junkets. There's a reason why we don't do red carpets, because as fun as they would be, kind of, it's not within the realm of our business, our mission statement. The other thing is, we've had this discussion 3 years straight of where we would sign up and book hotels to Sundance and then look at it and realizing, are we spending this money wisely?
No, I mean, we've come to
Yeah.
the conclusion we can cover it remotely, fine, and hit the big movies. Anyways, I say if it's not your core business, Apple and Amazon could cut bait
Mhm.
and they would collapse in a heartbeat. And it's a loss leader for them, and it allows them to sidle up to Hollywood.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's not the core business, and they don't care. And I think, I think that Netflix has contributed to a lot of really great stuff. Let's be fair. Television series and some movies and even Oscar winners, right? But it's not helping.
Yeah.
And I really wish Netflix, you got to release your movies theatrical, wide
Yeah,
release.
they're not gonna do it. They're not
And
gonna do it.
they need to do it.
They're not gonna
Or they get the Academy needs to stand up and go, streamers, you're not movies. You need to open in theaters for a window. It's got to be 45 days at minimum. Then you go to streaming.
and in at
Minimum.
least 4 major markets.
Yeah, at least 4 major markets, and then you're eligible for an Oscar. If they do that, Netflix will change their tune.